witty and empathetic reflections on life's journey. Life, as we often discover, rarely follows the neatly drawn maps we sketch out in our heads. We envision straight lines and clear destinations, only to find ourselves navigating winding roads, unexpected detours, and occasionally delightful cul-de-sacs we never knew existed. It's a journey filled with more twists and turns than a pretzel, and just when you think you've got the hang of it, the landscape shifts again. Embracing this unpredictable nature is perhaps the first step toward truly living, rather than simply moving through the motions. We're all just doing our best, trying to figure out the next turn, often with a mix of hope and mild bewilderment. This shared experience, this universal dance with the unknown, connects us more deeply than any planned itinerary ever could. It's a messy, beautiful, and sometimes hilarious adventure, if we let it be. After all, what's a journey without a few good stories to tell? Sometimes the most profound insights arrive when we least expect them, often disguised as minor annoyances or monumental setbacks. We might trip over our own feet, metaphorically speaking, only to discover a new path we hadn't noticed before. These moments, whether they bring a chuckle or a sigh, are truly the curriculum of life, teaching us lessons no textbook ever could. It's in these unplanned deviations that we truly learn about our resilience, our capacity for adaptation, and even our sense of humor. The ability to laugh at ourselves, especially when we've taken a wrong turn or stumbled, becomes a superpower on this winding road. We realize that perfection is an illusion, and the real magic lies in navigating the glorious imperfection of it all. Looking back, those bumps in the road often become the most cherished parts of our story. Wouldn't you agree? They certainly shape us in ways we could never have foreseen. True empathy often begins with the quiet recognition that everyone around us is also carrying their own invisible luggage, their own collection of hopes, heartbreaks, and awkward moments. That person rushing past you with a furrowed brow might be battling a silent storm. Or perhaps they just forgot their coffee. We all have days where we feel like we're starring in our own personal comedy of errors, or a drama that feels far too real. Extending a bit of grace, a moment of understanding, or even just a genuine smile can make a world of difference, both for them and for us. It's a reminder that we are all interconnected travelers on this vast, shared journey. Our paths may diverge, but the human experiences of joy, sorrow, and plain old confusion are universal threads. This understanding fosters a gentle compassion, allowing us to see beyond the surface and truly connect. The pressure to have it all figured out, to present a perfectly polished version of ourselves to the world, can feel incredibly heavy. Social media, in particular, often paints a picture of flawless lives, making our own perfectly normal struggles feel like personal failings. But the truth, whispered behind closed doors and in quiet moments of honesty, is that no one truly has it all together, not even the people who seem to. We're all just improvising, learning as we go, and occasionally faking it till we make it. Releasing the burden of needing to be perfect is like shedding a heavy backpack you didn't even realize you were carrying. It frees up so much energy, allowing us to breathe a little easier and approach life with a more genuine spirit. Our imperfections are not flaws, they are the unique textures of our authentic selves. Growth, surprisingly, often doesn't bloom in comfortable, sun-drenched gardens. It frequently sprouts from the cracks in the pavement, fueled by the occasional storm. The moments that stretch us, challenge us, and even make us question everything are often the very ones that carve out new pathways within us. Think about it. When have you learned the mo? State? Was it during an easy, breezy period, or when you were wrestling with a tough decision or navigating a significant change? These uncomfortable phases, though unwelcome at the time, act like vital catalysts, pushing us beyond our perceived limits. They force us to dig deeper, to find strengths we didn't know we possessed, and to adapt in ways that ultimately make us more resilient. It's a testament to the human spirit's incredible ability to not just survive, but to truly thrive, even when the going gets tough. Sometimes the most profound wisdom isn't found in grand pronouncements or philosophical texts, but in the quiet, everyday moments we often overlook. It's in the shared glance with a stranger, the unexpected kindness from a friend, or the simple beauty of a sunset painting the sky. These small, fleeting instances are the true anchors of our existence, grounding us amidst life's constant currents. They remind us that joy isn't always a distant peak to conquer, but often a gentle stream flowing right beside us. Taking a moment to truly notice these small wonders, to let them sink in, can shift our entire perspective. It teaches us that richness isn't measured by accumulation, but by appreciation, by the simple act of being present. These are the threads that weave the tapestry of a truly meaningful life, making it vibrant and deeply felt. Looking back, it's easy to play the what-if game, to replay past choices and wonder if a different path would have led to a smoother journey. However, hindsight, while offering clarity, also has a mischievous habit of making everything seem obvious in retrospect. What felt like a monumental decision at the time now appears a clear fork in the road, yet we couldn't see the future then. Instead of dwelling on potential regrets, we can choose to view these past experiences as invaluable teachers, each one contributing a crucial lesson to our personal syllabus. They've shaped who we are, refined our understanding, and prepared us for the next chapter, whatever it may hold. Every stumble, every detour, every unexpected turn has contributed to the unique story of our lives, making us the wonderfully complex individuals we are today. We carry these lessons, not as burdens, but as wisdom earned. The power of human connection truly is a lifeline, a sturdy rope thrown to us when we feel adrift in life's turbulent waters. Whether it's the steady presence of a longtime friend, the comforting embrace of family, or the unexpected bond formed with a new acquaintance, these relationships sustain us. They offer a mirror, reflecting our strengths and vulnerabilities, and a safe harbor where we can truly be ourselves. Knowing there's someone who gets you, someone who will listen without judgment or simply sit with you in silence, is an incredible gift. In a world that often emphasizes independence, remembering our inherent need for connection is a powerful act of self-care. It reminds us that we are part of something larger, a vast network of human experience, and that we never truly have to navigate the journey alone. These bonds are the true treasures we collect along the way. Vulnerability, despite its often misunderstood reputation as a weakness, is actually one of the most courageous acts we can undertake on our life's journey. It's the willingness to show up as we truly are, messy bits and all, without the protective armor we often cling to. When we share our fears, our doubts, and our authentic selves, we create a space for genuine connection and understanding. It's in these moments of brave transparency that others feel safe enough to share their own truth, bridging the gaps between us. This isn't about wallowing in self-pity. It's about acknowledging our shared humanity and finding strength in our imperfections. Embracing vulnerability means recognizing that it's okay not to be okay sometimes, and that asking for help is a sign of strength, not surrender. It's the key that unlocks deep relationships and a more authentic sense of self. The journey of life is also about finding the courage to keep moving forward, even when our steps feel heavy and the path ahead seems shrouded in mist. There will be days when simply putting one foot in front of the other feels like an Olympic feat, and that's perfectly normal. It's during these challenging stretches that we must lean into our inner resilience, that quiet strength that whispers, "You've got this." This courage isn't about being fearless. It's about acknowledging the fear and choosing to act anyway. It's in these small, persistent acts of moving forward, even when tired or unsure, that we build our capacity for enduring change. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory, a testament to our unwavering spirit. Remember, the journey isn't always about speed. Sometimes it's simply about showing up and continuing the walk. Embracing the beautiful messiness of life means letting go of the need for everything to be perfect or neatly packaged. Life is inherently wild and unpredictable, much like a tangled garden that occasionally produces the most stunning, unexpected blooms. We spend so much energy trying to prune and control every aspect, when often the most vibrant growth happens when we allow a little chaos. Accepting our own imperfections, our quirks, and the occasional missteps is a profound act of self-compassion. It's a realization that our worth isn't tied to flawless execution, but to our authentic effort and our willingness to learn. This acceptance frees us to truly live, to experiment, and to find joy in the unpredictable beauty of our own unique journey. There's a certain freedom in knowing that good enough is often more than enough. Ultimately, this journey we call life is a continuous invitation to listen, to ourselves, to others, and to the quiet wisdom that resides within the everyday. It's about paying attention to the subtle cues, the gentle nudges, and the profound lessons that reveal themselves along the way. We are all perpetual students, forever learning, growing, and evolving with each passing experience. There's no final destination where all the answers magically appear. Instead, it's a constant process of discovery and rediscovery. So let's approach our paths with a blend of wit, empathy, and an open heart, ready for whatever surprises and insights the next bend in the road might bring. May we all find solace in the shared human experience and strength in our own unfolding stories. The adventure continues, and perhaps it's time to listen. This winding road, with all its bumps and scenic overlooks, is uniquely ours, yet remarkably similar to the paths others tread. We might not always understand another person's specific struggles, but we can always relate to the feeling of struggle itself. That shared humanity is where true connection blossoms, bridging the gaps between individual experiences. It reminds us that no matter how isolated we might feel in a moment, we are never truly alone in the grand scheme of things. The tapestry of life is woven with countless individual threads, each vibrant and distinct, but together they form a magnificent and interconnected whole. This perspective allows us to offer empathy not as a gesture of pity, but as an act of profound recognition and solidarity with fellow travelers. As we navigate these personal landscapes, it's important to remember that our journey is not a race to some finish line, but an unfolding story to be savored. There's no prize for getting to the end fastest, only for truly experiencing the richness of each chapter. We can choose to rush through, missing the subtle beauty of the scenery, or we can pause, reflect, and appreciate the view. This mindful approach allows us to glean deeper meaning from our experiences, transforming simple events into profound insights. It's about being present, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually, in the unfolding narrative of our lives. This awareness helps us to live more fully, to love more deeply, and to embrace the adventure with an open heart, cherishing every moment, both big and small. Confronting mortality, finding meaning and acceptance. It's a strange thing, isn't it, how we navigate life with this unspoken understanding that it will, at some point, simply end. We talk about futures, about plans, about someday, as if that day stretches infinitely before us. Yet, deep down, a quiet knowledge resides. Our time here is finite. This isn't a morbid thought, but a fundamental truth of the human experience. Most of us, however, are experts at sidestepping this truth, pushing it to the furthest corners of our minds. We fill our days with distractions, with tasks, with endless scrolling, anything to avoid the uncomfortable whisper of mortality. But what happens when we finally turn and face it, even just for a moment? What lessons can this confrontation offer us about how we choose to live? Perhaps the biggest hurdle in confronting mortality is the sheer discomfort it brings. It forces us to acknowledge our vulnerability in the most profound way possible. We are not invincible. We are fragile, temporary beings, and that can feel terrifying. Our society often reinforces this avoidance, treating death as a taboo subject, something to be whispered about in hushed tones or sanitized with euphemisms. This collective silence, however, doesn't make the reality disappear. Instead, it can leave us feeling isolated in our own anxieties, making it harder to process our fears and integrate this essential part of life into our understanding of ourselves. Breaking this silence is the first step toward finding a different path. The paradox is that by avoiding the conversation about death, we often end up avoiding life itself. When we live as if time is limitless, we might postpone our dreams, delay crucial conversations, or settle for a life that doesn't truly align with our deepest desires. We tell ourselves there's always tomorrow to start that project, to say I love you, or to forgive someone. But tomorrow is never guaranteed, and the weight of unlived moments can become heavy. This isn't about rushing into every experience, but about cultivating an awareness that encourages us to live more intentionally right now. It's about recognizing that each day is a precious, non-renewable resource. Think about those moments when life suddenly feels fragile: a close call on the road, a health scare, or the unexpected loss of someone you know. In those sharp instances, the veil lifts and the reality of life's brevity hits with undeniable force. For a brief period, our priorities snap into crystal clear focus. We might call a loved one, reconsider a career path, or simply appreciate the warmth of the sun on our skin with a renewed sense of gratitude. These aren't just fleeting emotions, they're profound invitations. They are opportunities to listen to that inner voice that knows what truly matters, urging us to make changes that reflect our rediscovered values. Therapy, in many ways, is a safe space to practice this confrontation. It's a place where we can bring our deepest fears, including the fear of the unknown and the fear of our own ending, into the light. A good therapist doesn't offer easy answers, but helps you explore these feelings without judgment, providing tools to navigate the discomfort. You might talk about what a good life means to you, what regrets you carry, or what legacy you hope to leave, no matter how small. This process of gentle inquiry allows us to slowly unpack the heavy emotions surrounding mortality, transforming them from paralyzing dread into a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful. Instead of seeing mortality as a dark shadow that threatens to consume everything, we can begin to see it as a gentle yet firm reminder to truly live. It becomes a motivator, not a deterrent. Knowing that our time is limited can inspire us to make bolder choices, to speak our truths, and to invest our energy in relationships and experiences that truly nourish our souls. It's about understanding that the very impermanence of life is what makes each moment, each connection, so profoundly precious. This awareness doesn't diminish joy, it amplifies it. Finding meaning in the face of mortality isn't about discovering some grand universal secret. It's about figuring out what truly resonates with you. What makes your heart sing? What causes do you care deeply about? When you start to consider the limited time we have, suddenly the trivial worries might fade and the important things shine brighter. Maybe it's spending more time with loved ones, pursuing a long-forgotten hobby, or contributing to something bigger than yourself. These aren't just feel-good ideas. They're anchors in a world that often tries to pull us in 1,000 different directions. Thinking about what truly matters can help us simplify our lives and focus our energy where it counts. Often, when we strip away the layers of expectation and societal pressure, what remains at the core are our relationships. The connections we forge, the love we share, the empathy we extend. These are the threads that weave the richest tapestries of our lives. Confronting mortality can highlight the importance of prioritizing these bonds, mending fences, and expressing gratitude while we still have the chance. It teaches us that experiences, not possessions, create lasting memories and true wealth. Imagine looking back and wishing you'd spent more time with people you loved, rather than accumulating more stuff. This perspective offers a clear guide for how to invest our most precious resource, our time. Living authentically becomes a natural byproduct of this confrontation. When you understand that your time is finite, the urge to live a life that is genuinely yours becomes stronger. It means aligning your daily actions with your core values, even when it's difficult or goes against the grain. It might mean saying no to things that drain your energy and yes to opportunities that ignite your passion. Authenticity isn't about perfection. It's about congruence, about ensuring that the person you present to the world is truly reflective of who you are on the inside. This honest self-expression is a profound act of self-love and a powerful way to honor your brief journey. The idea of legacy often sounds grand, conjuring images of monuments or groundbreaking achievements. But legacy, in its most human sense, is far more intimate. It's the impact you have on the people around you, the kindness you offer, the wisdom you share, the memories you create. It's the ripple effect of your presence in the world, however quiet or profound. Understanding that we leave something behind, whether it's a cherished family recipe or a simple act of compassion, can imbue our daily lives with purpose. This perspective encourages us to consider how we want to be remembered, not by history books, but by the hearts we've touched. Acceptance, in this context, isn't about giving up or becoming resigned to a grim fate. Instead, it's a profound act of peace. a radical embracing of reality. It means acknowledging that life includes endings, that change is constant, and that some things are simply beyond our control. This isn't a passive surrender, but an active choice to release the struggle against what is inevitable. When we stop fighting the truth of mortality, we free up immense emotional energy that can then be channeled into living more fully and meaningfully. It's like finally letting go of a heavy weight you didn't realize you were carrying. There's a quiet strength that comes with this acceptance. It's the strength to live without constant fear of what's to come, because you've already faced the biggest truth. This doesn't mean you won't grieve or feel sadness. Those are natural parts of life. But it did always mean you can approach life with a deeper sense of calm and presence. The anxiety that often accompanies the unknown begins to lessen when you accept the fundamental truth of impermanence. You learn to appreciate the present moment more deeply, recognizing its unique value, rather than constantly worrying about what tomorrow might bring or what yesterday held. This journey of confronting mortality and finding acceptance is deeply personal, and it unfolds differently for everyone. There's no single right way to do it, and it's rarely a one-time event. It's more like an ongoing conversation with yourself, a continuous process of reflection and integration. Some days it might feel clearer, more peaceful, and other days the old fears might resurface. That's perfectly normal and part of being human. The goal isn't to eliminate all discomfort, but to build a more resilient and compassionate relationship with this fundamental aspect of existence. Practical steps can help you on this path. Journaling can be a powerful tool for exploring your thoughts and feelings about life and death without judgment. Mindfulness practices, like meditation, can help you stay grounded in the present moment, reducing anxiety about the future. Most importantly, don't be afraid to talk about it. Share your thoughts and fears with trusted friends, family, or a therapist. Opening up about mortality is an act of profound vulnerability, but it's also an opportunity to connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level. You might be surprised to find how many people share similar feelings. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects us in this shared human experience. When we bravely speak about our fears concerning mortality, we invite others to do the same, creating a space for genuine connection and understanding. This isn't just about comforting each other. It's about building a collective strength. Knowing that you're not alone in these profound reflections can be incredibly reassuring and empowering. It reminds us that while our individual journeys are unique, the fundamental questions of life, meaning, and acceptance are universal, binding us together in a tapestry of shared humanity. Ultimately, confronting mortality is not about dwelling on death, but about learning to live more fully, more authentically, and with greater purpose. It's about finding meaning in the fleeting moments and accepting the natural rhythm of life and its inevitable end. This profound acceptance allows us to release the grip of fear and embrace the preciousness of each day. It's a powerful lesson from the couch, reminding us that by truly listening to the uncomfortable truths, we can unlock deeper reserves of resilience, gratitude, and a profound appreciation for the miraculous gift of being alive. Perhaps then it really is time to listen. Addressing regret, learning from past choices. We all carry them, those quiet whispers of what if or if only that echo from our past choices. Regret, in its many forms, is a universal human experience, as common as breathing or the changing seasons. It's that heavy feeling in your gut when you recall a word spoken too harshly, a chance not taken, or a path deliberately avoided. This isn't just about big, life-altering decisions. Sometimes the smallest moments can leave the deepest imprints of regret. Acknowledging this shared human burden is the first step toward understanding it, reminding us that no one navigates life without looking back and wishing some things had been different. It's a testament to our capacity to care, to our desire for things to have gone better, and to our innate drive for growth. Regret isn't merely a sign of past mistakes. It's often a compass pointing towards our deepest values and what truly matters to us. When we feel regret, it's usually because a past action or inaction clashed with our core beliefs or with the person we aspire to be. Perhaps you regret not spending enough time with a loved one. Moth Wigrai. Change might highlight your value of connection and family. Or maybe you regret a career choice that didn't align with your passion, revealing your underlying need for purpose and fulfillment. These feelings, uncomfortable as they are, offer a profound opportunity to reflect on what we hold dear. They serve as emotional reminders, urging us to pay closer attention to these guiding principles in the future. Leaving regret unaddressed, however, can turn this potential compass into a heavy anchor, dragging us down into a cycle of rumination. It's a relentless loop of replaying scenarios, imagining alternative outcomes, and berating ourselves for choices already made. This constant mental replay can steal our peace, drain our energy, and prevent us from fully engaging with the present moment. Unprocessed regret often manifests as anxiety about future decisions, a fear of repeating past errors, or even a pervasive sense of sadness. It can erode self-worth, making us question our judgment and capacity for happiness. The weight of these unresolved feelings can become an invisible burden, influencing every new step we take. It's perfectly natural to want to push these uncomfortable feelings away, to bury them deep beneath layers of distraction or denial. Who wants to sit with the sting of, "I should have known better," or the ache of, "I missed my chance"? Our minds are often wired to protect us from pain, leading us to avoid anything that triggers that familiar pang of remorse. We might throw ourselves into work, endlessly scroll through social media, or even try to numb the feeling with temporary pleasures. This avoidance, while offering momentary relief, ultimately prevents us from processing the emotion and extracting its valuable lessons. It's like sweeping dust under a rug. The mess is still there, just out of sight, ready to trip us up later. Yet confronting regret isn't about wallowing in self-pity or punishing ourselves for past missteps. Instead, it's an act of courage, a powerful step towards self-awareness and healing. Think of it as opening a dusty old book, not to dwell on its sad chapters, but to understand the full story and how it shaped the subsequent ones. Facing these feelings head-on allows us to untangle the knots of the past, to see the circumstances more clearly, and to acknowledge our own humanity in making imperfect choices. This deliberate engagement, though challenging, paves the way for genuine reconciliation with our past selves and the decisions we made. It's about creating space for understanding, not just judgment. Indeed, regret, when approached with curiosity rather than condemnation, transforms into one of life's most potent teachers. Every choice we regret carries a hidden curriculum, a set of insights waiting to be uncovered. Perhaps a regretful financial decision taught you the importance of planning and saving. Maybe a missed opportunity to express love showed you the fragility of time and the urgency of connection. These experiences, though painful in their immediate aftermath, are rich with information about our strengths, weaknesses, and evolving desires. They highlight areas where we can grow, adapt, and refine our approach to future challenges. It's a tough lesson, but often the most impactful ones are. A crucial part of this learning process involves extending empathy to our past selves. It's easy to look back with the wisdom of hindsight and harshly judge the person we once were, forgetting the context, the pressures, and the limited information available at the time. Remember that you were doing the best you could with the knowledge, emotional capacity, and resources you possessed in that specific moment. That younger, less experienced version of you deserves understanding, not just criticism. Offering compassion to your past self breaks the cycle of self-blame, allowing you to see your choices through a lens of human fallibility rather than inherent flaw. This act of self-kindness is incredibly liberating. To truly learn, we must go beyond simply feeling bad and actively identify the specific lesson embedded within the regret. Ask yourself, what exactly about that choice causes me pain? What did I value or need that wasn't met? What new information or perspective do I have now that I didn't have then? Was it a lack of information, a misunderstanding of consequences, or perhaps an unexamined fear that drove the decision? Pinpointing these elements helps to crystallize the learning. Instead of a vague sense of remorse, you gain a clear, actionable insight into your patterns, your triggers, and your deeper motivations. This clarity is the bedrock of meaningful change. Shifting from blame to understanding is fundamental in this journey. Blame, whether directed at ourselves or others, keeps us stuck in a victim mentality, disempowering us from moving forward. Understanding, on the other hand, empowers us by shedding light on the why behind the choice. It helps us see the chain of events, the underlying emotions, and the external factors that contributed to the outcome. This isn't about excusing harmful behavior, but about gaining perspective that allows for growth. When we understand, we can then strategize how to respond differently next time, transforming a past wound into a future strength. It's about taking ownership without taking on unnecessary guilt. Once the lessons are clear, the next vital step is to translate these insights into concrete, actionable changes for the present and future. How can you integrate what you've learned into your daily life? If you regret a missed opportunity to speak your mind, perhaps you can practice assertive communication in smaller interactions now. If a past financial mistake taught you about budgeting, start implementing a new spending plan today. These small, deliberate adjustments create a bridge between your past experiences and your future self. They demonstrate that you're not just acknowledging regret, but actively using it as a blueprint for a more intentional and fulfilling life. Ultimately, addressing regret culminates in the profound acts of self-forgiveness and acceptance. Forgiving yourself means letting go of the expectation that you should have known better, acknowledging your human imperfection. It's a decision to release the emotional burden you've been carrying, understanding that holding on to it serves no productive purpose. Acceptance, then, means recognizing that the past cannot be changed, the choices were made, and the consequences unfolded. This isn't passive resignation, but an active embrace of reality, allowing you to redirect your energy from replaying history to building a better future. It's about making peace with your own story, blemishes and all. This entire process of confronting and learning from regret deeply intertwines with the very essence of vulnerability, a core theme of this book. It takes immense courage to open up those old wounds, to honestly examine the choices that still sting, and to admit where we fell short. Vulnerability means being willing to feel the discomfort, to acknowledge our imperfections, and to resist the urge to hide or pretend. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable with our past, we create space for genuine healing and profound self-compassion. It's in this raw honesty that true growth takes root, allowing us to shed the protective layers that once kept us from ourselves. It's crucial to remember that this struggle with regret is not unique to you. Every single person, regardless of their outward success or perceived wisdom, carries their own collection of if-onlys. Even those of us who sit on the listening couch, offering guidance and support, are no strangers to the pangs of past choices we wish we could redo. We too grapple with moments of missed connection, opportunities foregone, or words we wish we could retract. This shared humanity in the face of regret is a powerful equalizer, reminding us that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a fundamental aspect of the human experience that binds us all together. In fact, embracing our own regrets can surprisingly deepen our capacity for empathy towards others. When we understand the complexities and pressures that led to our own past choices, it becomes easier to extend understanding and grace to those around us. We learn that everyone is navigating their own intricate landscape of decisions, often with limited information and competing desires. This personal journey through regret softens our judgments, both of ourselves and of others, fostering a more compassionate and connected way of being in the world. It reminds us that behind every mistake is a human story, often one filled with good intentions and unforeseen consequences. Ultimately, the careful, compassionate examination of regret acts as a powerful catalyst for profound personal change. It's not about erasing the past, but about reshaping its influence on our future. By extracting the lessons, extending self-compassion, and committing to new actions, we transform what once felt like a burden into a source of wisdom and strength. This process of intentional learning and growth allows us to evolve, to make more conscious choices, and to live a life that is more aligned with our deepest values and aspirations. Regret, then, becomes less of a punishment and more of a personal growth engine. So as we confront the choices that haunt us, let us do so not with despair, but with a quiet sense of hope. Hope that these reflections will illuminate our path forward, making us wiser, kinder, and more resilient. Hope that by addressing the past, we empower ourselves to build a future rich with purpose and free from the heavy chains of unexamined remorse. It's time to listen to those whispers of regret, not to be defined by them, but to learn from their wisdom and step into a more authentic, intentional version of ourselves. This journey, though challenging, promises a deeper connection to our own truth and a brighter horizon ahead. The enduring power of the human spirit. Stories of hope. Life often throws punches, leaving us feeling bruised and broken, sometimes even completely lost. It's incredibly easy to get trapped in those moments, believing the darkness will never lift and that our struggles are uniquely isolating. Yet, time and again, we witness something truly remarkable. The human spirit's stubborn refusal to stay down, even when faced with overwhelming odds. This isn't about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about recognizing an inherent light that flickers even in the deepest shadows. We've all seen it, perhaps in ourselves or in someone we admire, a quiet strength that emerges when all seems lost. This resilience is a testament to something deeper within us, a wellspring of courage we often forget we possess. It is in these moments of profound challenge that our true capacity for hope often reveals itself, not as a blind optimism, but as a deliberate choice to keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Hope, in its purest form, isn't a fluffy feeling or a denial of reality. It's a gritty determination to find a way, even when the path is obscured. It's the single parent working 2 jobs to provide for their children, fueled by a vision of a better future. It's the artist who keeps creating despite rejection, believing in the power of their voice. It's the individual facing a chronic illness who finds daily joy and purpose amidst physical limitations. These stories aren't always grand or dramatic. Often, they are quiet acts of perseverance that unfold in homes and hospitals, in classrooms and boardrooms. They are the threads that weave together the tapestry of human endurance, reminding us that we are all capable of more than we imagine. Each day, countless people choose to cultivate hope, transforming their personal battles into beacons for others. Think of the person who loses a beloved family member, feeling as though their world has shattered into a million pieces. The initial grief can be suffocating, making simple tasks feel monumental and future plans seem impossible. Yet slowly, painstakingly, they begin to piece their life back together, not by forgetting, but by finding new ways to honor the memory and carry on. They might start a foundation in their loved one's name, or dedicate themselves to a cause that was important to them. This isn't about moving on from grief, but moving forward with it, integrating loss into a life that still holds meaning and beauty. Their capacity to find purpose again, to laugh and to love, even with a persistent ache, is a profound testament to the human heart's ability to heal and adapt. Consider the individual who has faced years of self-doubt and anxiety, feeling paralyzed by fear and unable to pursue their dreams. They might have spent countless nights wrestling with their thoughts, believing they weren't good enough or brave enough to make a change. Then one day, something shifts. Perhaps they seek help or find inspiration in a book or simply reach a breaking point where the desire for change outweighs the fear. That first step, however small, is a monumental act of hope. It could be signing up for a class, applying for a new job, or simply daring to speak their truth. This journey, often long and winding, reveals an inner strength they never knew they possessed, proving that even the most entrenched patterns can be broken with persistent effort and a belief in oneself. The power of the human spirit also shines brightly in moments of collective adversity. When natural disasters strike or communities face economic hardship, we often see people come together in extraordinary ways. Neighbors help neighbors, strangers offer comfort and resources, and the shared struggle forges bonds of compassion and solidarity. These acts of kindness and mutual support are not just practical, they are deeply spiritual, reinforcing the idea that we are all interconnected. In these challenging times, the simple act of extending a hand, offering a meal, or lending an ear can ignite a spark of hope that spreads like wildfire, reminding everyone involved that they are not alone. It's a powerful demonstration of how empathy can transform despair into collective action and renewed faith in humanity. Hope is not a passive waiting for things to get better. It is an active engagement with life, a commitment to seeking out glimmers of light. It means choosing to cultivate gratitude for the small blessings, even amidst significant challenges. It involves recognizing that every setback carries a lesson, an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding. This isn't always easy, especially when circumstances feel overwhelming and unfair. Yet those who embody this enduring spirit often share a common thread, a willingness to look for possibilities, to ask what now instead of why me. This active pursuit of meaning and purpose, even in the face of suffering, is what truly defines the resilient human heart. It's about tending to our inner gardens, ensuring that even after a storm, new seeds of hope can take root and flourish. Sometimes the most profound stories of hope come from unexpected sources, from those who might seem to have the least. A person living with chronic pain, for instance, might find immense joy and purpose in mentoring others, using their own experience to offer comfort and guidance. An individual who has faced discrimination might channel their frustration into advocating for justice, creating a more equitable world for future generations. These individuals don't just endure, they transform their personal struggles into a source of strength and inspiration for countless others. Their courage to not only survive, but to thrive and contribute despite their personal battles demonstrates an incredible depth of character and an unwavering belief in a better tomorrow. Their lives become living proof that adversity can indeed forge an unshakable spirit. The journey of cultivating hope is deeply personal, but it is rarely traveled alone. Often, it is through connection with others, through shared stories and mutual support, that our own well of hope is replenished. In therapy, on the couch, individuals often discover that their struggles are not isolated, but part of a universal human experience. They learn to articulate their pain, to process their fears, and to envision a future where healing is possible. This process of being truly seen and heard, of having one's vulnerability met with understanding, can be incredibly empowering. It helps individuals tap into that inherent resilience, allowing them to rebuild their lives with renewed purpose and a stronger sense of self. The therapeutic relationship itself can become a powerful story of hope, demonstrating that change is always possible when we dare to listen and be heard. Ultimately, the enduring power of the human spirit isn't some mystical force reserved for a select few. It resides within each of us, waiting to be activated. It is the quiet courage to face another day, the unwavering belief in a brighter future, and the profound capacity to love and connect, even after experiencing loss. These stories of hope, whether grand or small, remind us that resilience is not about avoiding the storms of life, but about learning to navigate them with grace and determination. They teach us that even when the world feels dark, there is always a flicker of light, a reason to keep going, and a profound strength within us to overcome. Embracing our shared humanity with all its struggles and triumphs is the first step towards unlocking that incredible power within ourselves.